Oh, right, guys. Let's go. We've got onside Maru up here in the top left side of the map. He's up against herO in the bottom right. This is the lower bracket finals of Maestros of the game. 12 workers start. This is, of course, played on a patch to replicate the previous patch. And it's the lower finals. It's a best of 7. Gas first for Maru, which means very unlikely to do an SCV scout with this build. Very expensive to both gas first and SCV scout, as you are cutting a bit of minerals to get this gas saturated so early on. And of course, herO going to be blocking off the high ground and going across for that probe. But it's not an immediate probe scout. It's kind of conservative for herO. Oddly conservative, I would say. Going to go up that ramp. I'm thinking about this series. I'm thinking about how these two match up. herO has recently played some of the most chaotic and crazy styles against Clem imaginable. I feel like he tilts Clem. I think against Maru, he can be a little bit more contained. It's still often a pattern where you will see herO go crazy aggressive, but then it's kind of like he wants to put Maru on the defensive and then he'll pivot into greed. So often he's looking to get a reaction. I do feel like it's kind of like, he looks like a sheepdog, you know? He's shepherding, trying to shepherd Maru into playing overly safe. And once he gets Maru's respect in that regard, you'll see him pivot. But it's all about how does he get that respect? Because Maru has some of the scariest 2-base pushes in the game. Very insanely powerful late game. Though I'd say Maru's ability to get to late game on this patch, unlike Clem, sorry. Clem for quite a while was just turtling to late game, getting there consistently and destroying that. I feel like it's harder for Maru to get there. Like Maru, I think, struggles with being on the defensive while double prisms flying in your main, stalkers and zealots are jumping on your third. I think Maru's definitely more of an old school TVP player. He wants to get some damage with his harassment and then kill you with a 2-base push wherever possible. And late game's something that happens only when he is forced to go to late game. If he's behind, okay, I'll turtle up and play late game, but ideally, he's not accepting being in that defensive stance. He doesn't want to fall behind against a Protoss, because a Protoss with map control takes 4 bases, takes 5 bases, takes 80 workers, and it feels like they just get a bit too far ahead as Terran, and you give up all agency. He doesn't want to be in that position. He'd much rather have the back and forth mid-game. There we go, Reaper, Alien, Marine coming forward. Reaper Grenade wasn't perfectly placed. The Stalker will escape. Got a second Stalker coming forwards, third one as well. Hellion Reaper staying on the map's a good idea, because if you can catch the Stalkers out of position and go kill some probes, it's great. herO sees it, shuts it down. That Reaper, I think it should escape this Stalker if he just runs straight past it. The very nervous Artosalope there. Reaper regenning a little bit. Maru, he's going to get back to full life, but he's got to run away, and he's cornering himself. No, he's dead. There's no escape on this side. You're trapped by the rocks, right? Oh, there is a ledge. I didn't realize you could jump up that with a Reaper. Apparently you can. Unfortunately, there was a Stalker there to greet him. He gets shot down. Recall goes down immediately. He knows he's way out of position. Here comes a 6 Marine, 1 Widow Mine drop. Remember, it's a gas first build order. I think herO's well in position for this. He's got his third gateway coming up. Almost finished. Robo's there. With 5 Stalkers, you can 2-shot the medevac, and I think Maru's wise to unload before he gets there. Picks up, pulls away for now. herO? No, don't build the Nexus on the right. herO, this third is so much better, but because the drop was there, he's going to go build this next. This is such a trash third base. herO loves taking this. herO loves taking this garbage third base. You show herO the worst expansion pattern on a map, he will always take it. He just loves... and you could tell he was going to go here, but he's like, oh, the drop's there. It might get sniped. Let's go to the other side. And I'm like, I feel like this is a better third than this one. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Once these minerals are open, it's fine, I guess. It's just... it's a bit odd. The advantage is defending this base means drops can't get by into your main. So you want to kind of control this frontal area. At least it gives you a very simple defensive focus. Tanks are building at home. He's got a bunker up, a Raven, and of course the 3 barracks now establishing on those to get the Tech Lab Marines. Marines at first, and once you've got kind of +1 weapons, concussive shells, stim, or combat shields and stim and +1 started, then you can swap to Marauders. He's actually swapping Marauders a little bit earlier. No Engineering Bay yet. We have seen players skipping Engineering Bay lately to hit a sharper 2-base timing. This might be one of those games, because it's getting really late. And if you start combat shields even before Engineering Bay, yeah, okay. So Maru's going to have a really crisp 2-base push, but he's going to fall off a cliff in terms of efficiency the longer it goes. This is something you've really got to pay attention to. That first push is going to be even more important than normal. Only one Marine in the bunker. Bunker is way too far out of position. Bit of a shame to just give that up for free. Third Nexus getting chronoed. Lots more gateways, so 6 gates and a prism. And that stim's looking so juicy, isn't it? But with the tank already shelling on him, he doesn't want to lose a whole bunch of stalkers for it, does he? Observer does survive. A wasteful auto turret there for Maru. And the Robo Bay does go down along with gates 7 and 8. So it's going to be 3 gases into Colossus. Keep in mind, if you lose all your stalkers, you've barely got enough gas for Colossus with this build as is. He's already made 2 sentries, which was 200 gas, incredibly expensive. So unless he wants to take a 4th gas, which, hey, herO does take the early 4th. I love it. Three Barracks Factory Starport's chilling. Stalker's trying to pull away right now. Prism's going to go for the counter drop. No SCVs being pulled. Third Command Center does start behind this, as well as +1 weapons. You can see there a Stalker gets shot down. The Bio does have to stim for that. Zealot drop goes in. 0 units at home to defend. This is going to cause a lot of damage. But can he defend the push at home? That's the real question. Colossus isn't here yet. herO's in a very dicey position. Maru will not be perturbed. He's going to fight this with Marauders, Marines popping out. He might need to fight with the SCVs as well if he wants to defend that, and indeed he will. Many SCVs will die. Same time, Zealots get on top. The tank's taking big damage. One tank goes down, second tank falls. Guardian Shield sentries also go down. And look at this, so few units out. The Robo is exposed. No, he's going to lose it. Oh, the Robo goes down. And that is going to be deadly. The Bio stimming into the Concave of Stalkers. It's a lot of Stalkers. Can herO make some magic happen? He lost 18 workers, but he killed 13 SCVs, so this is actually playable. Dude, herO, he's a magician. He might be able to do this. Good blink backs so far. Does bait the Widow Mines. We'll clean those up. Maru's going to back away and heal. Maru has a 3rd command, and this is very playable for both sides. The Colossus is not building, of course. It's got a 2nd one queued up. No extended thermal lance just yet. The moment that gets powered up and comes out, it's going to be a big game changer. If the Robo died there, I'd say herO's quite screwed, but with Colossus about to come out, +1, remember, has not quite finished. Remember, that first push needed to do crucial damage, and I think you can squeeze a Forge in as herO. It's hard to say. Prism dancing around the main base. herO's thinking about the aggression right now. He's got, a force fields here could be good. The Bio stims forward, he'll land some pretty good force fields. Widowmine on the right side gets cleaned up. He's warping in a lot of Zealots. The big timing. There's only 12 Marines and 7 Marauders. Oh my, he's just catching Maru with not enough units. Force fields are going to be deadly. He's got to pull back. Maru, way too slow on the pullback. Does do a hot pickup. Nice hot pickup. But I was going to say, man, that was pretty predictable. Those force fields were going to go down. A little bit crazy to get caught by that. But oh my gosh, the Colossus. The Colossus is here. More Zealots warping into the south. The SCV's not going to do enough against that. Beautiful play here by herO with the counter push. The Zealot drop pushing Maru's attack to be somewhat all in. And the eventual Colossus may have been delayed, but when he came out, he has paid off in a big way. Forcing the Widow Mines to unburrow to avoid firing on these Stalkers. Maru knowing they will dodge that. I think with the Colossus number 2 on the front, extended thermal arts almost here, that should be game. There's just no answer to this. You're out of medevac healing. Every stim is sacred, and yet it is irrecoverable, the hit points that you lose from that. He's building 2 more tech labs on his barracks. He wants to get up to 4 Marauders at a time. Easier said than done. Stalker Zealot moving in. Engineering Bay almost goes down. Colossus with the force fields. Oh, SCVs, no answer to this army. Very nice play for herO. herO's just been looking so fantastic, man, and I thought that push was going to just going to barely overwhelm him when it denied the first Colossus, but he holds on, immediately counter pushes, and Maru turns out just took a bit too much, because remember, it wasn't just the 13 SCVs. He lost a massive amount of mining time in his main throughout. His 4th and 5th barracks was hugely delayed, And 8 gates producing units, especially if you're building 8 zealots every 20 seconds. Against what? He had 3 barracks. These 4th and 5th barracks weren't doing anything. So every 20 seconds, a Terran can build 2 Marauders and 2 Marines. That's it, right? Maybe a couple Widow Mines, maybe a Medevac. But they're making 8 Zealots at a time. There's that scary moment where Protoss has got the 8 gateways up, pumping Zealots. And if you don't have your 5 barracks kind of together, you don't already have a big enough core of bio to defend and trade efficiently, you will get overrun. Nice play for herO to start the series. Alright guys, top right side, herO there with a nice game 1 victory. He's going to go for the immediate probe across the map. Bottom left side, we've got onside Maru. Probe's going to come in, start picking off the SCVs and see what it can do. Ooh. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Got to pull away. Good micro though for herO, as always, guys. Barracks gas here, no gas first this time around. So Maru not going to be doing anything too crazy. Oh, he does go for the second gas though. Okay, so he does want to get momentum. Wants to have that early tech option open to do what he can. Probe's going to rotate around. It's always interesting seeing the force field usage looking so good in that last game. Don't see force fields as much against Terran because the game's so fast and dynamic, and if you go for too many sentries, there's always a moment if you get hit and you don't have enough supporting units, those sentries get hammered. And there's such valuable gas units to lose. So sentries though, if you're ever in a position where the Terran just is on bio, especially if you've got Colossus, like I'd say the most common situation where Sentry Colossus is a go-to. It's not like a core army, but it's something you will hang out on in the mid-game for a little bit with at least 3, sometimes even 4 sentries, and Colossus is against a 3 racks. If a Terran goes 3 racks, their factory's late, their starport's late, they have to build a few medevacs to heal their bio, so their Vikings are very late. If they don't have Vikings, you can kind of just have a Colossus with some force fields, 2 Colossus with some force fields, and there's not much bio can do against that on its own. It can't really push into you, so the moment they get Vikings out, Terran suddenly kind of has the range advantage in that fight, where the Vikings can pick at your Colossus from quite far away, and force fields don't feel nearly as effective. But if the Terran plays 3 barracks opening, they delay their tech, that's where Colossus Sentry still thrives. Twilight Council is going to go up in the main. Pretty standard opening. Nothing crazy here. He does chrono a second Stalker, though. Oh, he's looking to punish Maru for skipping Bunker, but Maru's going Cyclone. So, yeah, herO's going to regret that. I mean, you can kill this SCV with the Stalker and then just run away. Ignore the Reaper, go for the SCV. That's the bigger disruption. And then leave, because you do not want to lose your Stalkers to the Cyclone. Good build choice for Maru. Oh, don't lose your Reaper, though. Got to keep that alive. And of course, he'll go back to building this. He's got his starport coming. And these 2 Stalkers thinking about skirmishing with the Cyclone. Brave. Brave. Look at that, though. He's bullying him. Only takes 1 tick on the first lock-on. Maru has to wait for the cooldown. Dude. Oh my god, herO abusing him right now. Good bullying from herO. I'd be very, very worried with just 2 Stalkers against a Cyclone, but they can do enough damage to do really good damage early. Now with a Reaper and potentially a Grenade, Maru could use lock-ons to pick them off, but he's going to play it a bit more cautiously. Going Cloaked Banshee behind this. Stalker's getting distracted. The longer he distracts herO, the more chance that Banshee sneaks in for big damage. Now I've been saying for the last 6 months, Cloaked Banshee's overused in this matchup, and it's very predictable, especially when you're playing Maru, that he's going to do this, I'd say 2 out of 3 games. Despite that, every non-Max Packs player seems to pretty consistently take a ton of damage. I mean, Classic sometimes shuts it down. Let's see if herO kind of remembers. He should. He plays Maru enough. You should basically always have an Observer and 3 Stalkers chilling at home at about 5 minutes. Maybe 5.5 minutes. I'm not sure the exact timing of the Banshee. But as long as you have that available, you should be fine. If you don't have that, things could get very rough. Two barracks factory, starport on the way. Banshees and tanks are building. First Banshee sneaking down the right side. Did he see that coming? Or is he just a wizard? I guess a drop often comes from this side as well. Spots it. It's bad for Maru. Maru knows he's being spotted as well. This is really good for herO. Forces the cloak out of him. Observer's on the way. He's chronoing it. He doesn't even blink back to the high ground because he knows he doesn't have detection. So herO's going to continue across the map. And oh no, Maru! Maru! Okay, he does notice. He cloaks that Banshee just in time. This Banshee's going to move to the right side. He's got to get away from the Observer. herO with an F2 pulled the Observer away. Let that Banshee get away with less damage than it should have. But honestly, the Stalkers could just blink in and kill this tank. And then if he doesn't go in range of the other tank, if he just blinks here, kills the tank, he's got this game, if not in the bag, at least in a massive advantage. Stalkers and Observers at home. Stalkers dive in. Siege tank goes down. herO takes out the Cyclone, the tank, and the bunker. The Prism's there. The tank does move. The third tank that came out, but dude, he's taking so many losses. Banshee sees a battery, it can't do anything, it gets sent home. And Maru reeling from the pain here. herO all over this early game. Stalkers blinking in, and that mobility advantage, it's such a narrow window when you're looking at average players' games. But what herO does with that map control advantage you have with Blink before Stim is done, it's pure foul wizardry if you're a Terran player. And it's just magic. You love to see it if you're a Protoss player. He's so good at utilizing this window. herO's going to clean up the Banshee. Of course, Maru just panic microing right now. F2'd his Banshee in there. Probably wasn't even looking at it since it was just hitting a pylon. Doesn't even kill it. He's only down 6 workers, but he's reeling. He's got 1 tank, a few Marines, a Banshee. That tank goes down. He's in trouble. But herO, he will click with his Ding Dong. Does take out the tank for 2 Stalkers. Puts back the rest of them. Without any more tanks out, Maru's just going to start to bleed units catastrophically. 2 seconds till the next siege tank pops out, but what's he going to have lost by the time it gets here? And it's going to be incredibly vulnerable. The tank does siege up. His SCV's trying to repair. The Banshee adds very useful damage here. And here we go, round 16 of herO diving his Stalkers. Purposely blinked 1 Stalker in at first to take the first volley of the siege tank. Beautiful pickups. The Banshee runs out of cloak energy. It goes down, and that's going to be game. Maru will be tapping out as it's still 10 seconds till his next tank pops. So he's going to lose all these Marines and SCVs before the tank can save his bacon. Beautiful play here by herO, just very decisive. Intercepting the Banshees was really nicely done. And you can see just how snowbally it is. If a Protoss shuts down your big committed early pressure like the Banshee and attacks you at the same time, going for those Banshees pays off big. The early Cyclone delays the build a little bit as well and doesn't actually get any early game value. herO racing to a 2-0 lead. All right. Continuing into game 3, herO is in the lead. Been on a tear today, man. Like a knife through hot butter. I really do hope, though, that his opponent Maru, now in the bottom left of Tourmaline, is going to put up a stiffer bit of opposition. I think that Cyclone opening, you know... The thing about that Cyclone opening is you spend a lot of money to get a Cyclone and you don't even get map control. That kind of sucks, right? The fact that 2 Stalkers were able to bully him inside his base. It's kind of my problem with that Cyclone opening. Because I was like, oh, this is great. This will, like, shut down the Stalkers and you get to skip a bunker. But then I'm like, oh, it didn't even really shut them down. He still got bullied off his command center for a little bit. I don't know. I'm always iffy about TVP openings. Because Maru, to me, is like this otherworldly wizard who just... he finds ways to win in this matchup that I don't think are very good on paper. And I think, oh, that's not going to work. And then he just shows how to make it work. And you go, oh, that's how you do it. Is it replicable for normies? Well, we're going to find out. He's going to play 1 Rax Expand this time. Maybe this is... Don't try to be so aggressive, you know? Just have a bit better economy. Change the pace up a little bit. Oh, low ground gateway. This is going to be an early Zealot. Early Zealot and Adept. Oh, Probe got stuck on the corner there for a second. herO's got to be careful to keep him alive. He still wants to block the command center, even though he's got no hit points to do it with. herO. Mate, unless you're willing to put a spike pylon down, you ain't blocking this, okay? This is a can I escape at this point, not can I block the command center? And he does get that probe out of there. Pigs, you cast Need versus Scarlet yet? No, I think I've got a recording because I don't think we get replays for these events on the Chinese server. I don't think they work on other servers. I'm not sure if they fixed that bug or not, but think I've got a recording of it, so I definitely want to cast that one. If there's any other matches from the Do You Cup Retired Players Tournament, the big LAN that was held in China, you guys give me your recommendations. I'll try to cast those over the next few days. Zealot hiding in the bushes there, because you can see from Maru, sight blocker, very annoying to deal with. We're doing a good job of just controlling space here while he waits for the Adept to push that Reaper away. Of course, this gives plenty of warning. Maru gets the bunker up, so the Reaper's done its job. It's kept the Zealot back. It's bought him time. He's got 2 Marines and a Reaper, which together can handle this Adept. If that Shade finishes, it's going to be bad for herO. Indeed, it does finish. Reapers and Marines doing their job. He's going to get back to the front there. I kind of wish he kept chasing the Adept, because I don't think that Adept should be allowed to escape from here. And, well, barely gets out. Was that 1 hit point? Yeah, one hit point. Oof. Next Adept is here. I still think this is a good hold so far for Maru. He's not taking any damage. This is still great for him. Remember, it's herO who built an early Zealot, committed across the map with these units. One of the Adepts is going to go down. Next one's going to be heavily damaged. This is good. Very good start for Maru. I will be cheering for Maru in this series, just in case you're wondering. Always cheer for the underdog. Usually a little more herO favored, but once you're down 0-2, you immediately become my boy. Right now, Maru needs to get it together. It's 3-gate blink for herO. Reaper Hellion's going to confirm there's no third. There hasn't been a fast third once in this series. And Maru's going to add Widow Mine Drop for the second barracks, and then no doubt a third barracks soon after. Oh, he commits! Commits in here. Wants to make sure he's not getting caught by Dark Templar or anything. Maybe find some damage while he's at it. Looks like just 1 probe is always going to get. 1 probe scout keeps the Protoss back on their side of the map. Not too bad. And of course, the Widow Mine Drop going to come out. Does he bring Marines with this? Looks like he's doing both, eh? No, just the Widow Mines. Okay. So a 2 Mine Drop will go out the left side. It's going to have the second and third barracks go down. Now, it looks like Maru wants to skip siege tanks. I think he builds only 1 tank this game. Let's see if he gets away with that. So he's going to go 1 tank. This barracks will swap onto this tech lab. This barracks onto that tech lab. I think he's only going to go 1. He could build a second one and just let this third barracks build Marines for 20, 30 seconds while he builds the extra tank. That's fine. But the earlier you skip tanks, the faster you get to stim bio. Be really nice for a Terran. Oh, the Widow Mine! Barely burrowed in time! Oh, Maru with some good retargeting. Nicely done. Gets 3 probes and a Stalker. It's good damage. Only loses 2 Widow Mines. He's going to build a second tank. Never mind. Unless he gets rid of the hallucination and then cancels and swaps. No. Okay. It was an option. He might have thought about it for a second, but he's not going to go for it. Templar Archives. Ooh, Storm. Okay, we're going to go Blink into Charge. Storm, don't see that so much these days. Love to see it. It's still a very solid style. Storm isn't quite as good for ambushing your opponent's army and suddenly killing it with the Storm, but boy, does it split your opponent's army up, and it's so hard to push into. Second tank moves out. Factory is blocked there. Stalker's going to be annoying. Trying to pick off those Marines so they don't get any kills. Oh, whoa, 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 Maru. Calm down, buddy. Quickly tells his units to stop attacking his own refinery. That was indeed a misclick. So we've got word on the Do You regarding the replay bug. I don't think that'll ever get fixed because the Chinese client is always a different version to the rest of the world. Ah, yeah, because it's managed by NetEase. And they actually put out a survey where they were thinking about adding in unit rotations from co-op and campaign. And if they go ahead and do that, I think we're all going to swap to playing the Chinese version of the game. No offense, but yeah, if they actually do that, that would be amazing. I would be down, man. I'd be VPNing my way to the others. Normally they're VPNing their way past the firewall. We'd be VPN tunneling our way into the firewall, man. Give me 250 ping. I don't care. If I get Reavers on ladder, I'm going to go for it, man. Bio tank moving out here. Storm is finished. Charge is on the way. 7 gateways about to be up. It's 8 Stalkers, 3 High Templar. Remember, no Warp Prism with this. But of course, 1 good Size Storm to start the fight could be devastating. Stim and Shields is there. It's that delayed +1 that's so popular these days. Can he land a good storm? He needs vision. Oh my lord! Omega Storm! Those tanks both go down. The High Templar fall back. Did he lose one of the High Templar? I don't think so. A second storm goes down. Doesn't seem to have any more storms available. This High Templar need just a few more seconds to get a bit more energy, and he needs another round or two of Zealots. With those Zealots coming in and one more storm, he should be good. The High Templar, though, runs forward before he has the storm energy. And I think that's a pretty tragic misstep there for herO. He now lands another storm, but High Templar just went forward on 70 energy. Needed 5 more energy before running into the front line. A misstep for herO, misjudging his energy level, getting a bit excited. But ooh, that Widow Mine actually took out a bunch of Marines. And Maru has overextended. After losing his tanks, he felt he needed to push hard to get some revenge. And he ends up overcommitting. Luckily for him, herO doesn't keep high ground vision. Otherwise, herO could have blinked back to that high ground potentially and shut down another medevac. As it is, double forge and a robo coming in for herO. He's also going to go up to 6 gases, so he's exploding into tech. And Maru's third command center not quite finished. Loses another medevac, another marauder. A couple of these damaged stalkers do look tempting, but you come out into the open as Maru, you're going to get punished, mate. You got to be really careful here. Good unburrow on the Widow Mine. I love that move. Really well done. With the bunker, I think he can hold. You can see herO's trying to bully him into lifting the command center. Maru's not taking the bait. Widow Mine drop comes in, gets a few probes. 5, not bad, not bad. 4th and 5th barracks. You can see the add-ons are coming in. He's playing 4 Tech Lab, 1 reactor. I love that Maru's playing the kind of what some call a noob-friendly style. Just going for much more heavier on the Marauder Ghost, the tanky units, rather than the Fragile Marines. You make a bit of a misclick or a misspread, and the Marines really get wrecked. But most Terrans, you'll see beyond Clem, usually will go for a 2nd reactor. But not Maru, just 4 Tech Labs, 1 reactor. Yeah, same as what he was going for on 10,000 feet. He gets a probe and a stalker there with the burrow on burrow, not to mention the mining time disruption. herO needs to transfer out of that main to that 4th base. Oh, he's got good 1-1 upgrade timing. I mean, he's gone 6 gas. Where's the Robo Bay? There we go. I was kind of like, bro, if you're going to go 6 gas, you're going to bank crazy gas if you don't go for that. I guess he's got to build High Templar as well. Snipe takes out another Zealot. Nicely done there by Maru. Oh, I love Maru's constant Widow Mine drops. It's not letting herO get away with being in control. Widow Mine drops are one of the lowest resource commitment ways a Terran can pressure Protoss for the high potential damage. Good feedbacks. Nice feedbacks on the medevacs. Both sides will regen energy over time. With energy recharge, Protoss should be a little favored there, though. It's only 6 High Templar, 10 Zealots, 9 Stalkers, 1 Archon. 1-1 upgrades aren't quite here, and Maru finds the 4th base. There is now a Prism ready for some Storm drops, and he actually just moves towards it and shuts down the Prism. Eats the Storm afterwards, though. Unnecessary there. You can see that's because he's Widow Mine dropped in there. He's killed 4 probes. He's got a Widow Mine there, gets another 4 probes. The bio may overcommit at the same time as all this has happened, though. And he's going to try and save some of these units, but oh, he loses a full medevac. Does get one away with 2 ghosts inside. Feels like Maru's doing a lot to keep herO busy, making the Protoss make mistakes as well. But he's not got that kind of next level clean multitasking that we see from Maru on his absolute best days. Obviously, very hot, very sweaty over there in Paris. It's going to affect the players a little bit. I don't know how sweaty it was in the venue. Ooh, medevac does go down. And that Widow Mine is also going to go down. Even if they had aircon, which I'm sure they did, with a venue like that, you're going to have tightly packed, lots of people. Biggest heat wave, I think, on record in Paris. So it's probably a situation where the aircon wouldn't be able to keep up with the requirement there. One would just hope as well that it doesn't all get shut off. Obviously, big heat waves, everyone's turning on the aircon. Sometimes the power goes out, depending on where you are in the world. 2-2 is on the way. Extended Thermal Lance as well. Extra Gas Geyser. 4th Command Center coming up now. Maru's done a really good job of stabilizing in this game. I think he's done a great job of keeping this very stressful for herO. And herO, fascinatingly, is going to go for a Stargate and air weapons. The air weapons, to me, doesn't seem like Tempests. It seems like he's thinking about a carrier swap. I do think Tempest is usually the ultimate late game. I think there's an amazing position on this map if you can get cannons out in this area. Out here is okay, but I actually think this area is better on the low ground. You can siege the middle really well. That's something you need a lot of money for, and right now herO's down in supply against the Terran. He's not in that favored Protoss with full map control, 2 base advantage situation where Protoss can afford to siege them with Tempest cannons and storms. Zealot's going to come in, trade for a few Widow Mines. Maru's on point. Will respond very quickly while floating his 4th command center to the front. Disruptor's coming out now as well. Still only 1 Robo and 8 gateways. 2nd Stargate and Fleet Beacon goes down. Stalker's over there. One of them does fall. Doesn't really get any value. Baits an EMP, I guess. Storm comes forward. Oh, you don't want to lose that command center. I think Maru should be able to keep it alive, but he's got to push these High Templar back with EMPs. Baits the storms, pulls back. Command center's burning, but it's alive. The SCVs need to pull back. Maru should pre-spread his units here, I think, and I don't think herO can push into it. 2-2 versus 1-1 upgrade's a scary moment with 2-2 just about 40 seconds away, and Maru, I think, wise to not force this base up. herO building gateways around the map. He's got his 5th base up in the middle. 2 more gases there. I mean, this is just so weird. herO, when he gets to late game, plays some of the strangest PvT I've ever seen. He's got like 12 High Templar, 10 just in a giant clump on 1 control group, which is just absolutely terrible. He's making Tempests and more gateways, but he's still only got 1 Robo. He's got 2 Colossus, 1 random Disruptor, 1 random Immortal. I mean, this is good for now. But it's just the way herO controls this army, where he doesn't leave any High Templar scattered around, that always has me worried. Because 1 big misstep, 1 medevac boost in, drops a ghost, to EMPs these High Templar. Suddenly, the whole thing making your army good is just so vulnerable. And herO is not a guy who's going to do anything to buy insurance for that situation. Most players would have a lot of insurance here. What if I mess up? I've got to do this just in case. Not herO. He's just going to keep sending High Templar forward 1 at a time. Got Tempest to start chipping at you as well. He's going to try and bait Maru into the storms. Not a bad storm. EMP lands only after the storm goes down. A bit too late. 2 more Tempests and a Mothership on the way. Vikings only now starting, man. He's got 4 of them. 5th Viking starts. You can see the Bio can push back these basic units pretty easily, though. +3 upgrades on the way for Protoss. 3-3s on the way for Terran as well. But right now they are even on those ground upgrades as Cloak comes in for the Ghosts. Tempest and the Storms, they can chip at you. But they're not going to kill you quickly. If Maru's patient, I think he can keep trading a few Marauders for a few Stalkers and High Templar. Tempest will pick off some of your units. Unfortunately, the medevacs are very low on juice, which is part of why this feels so awkward. Got to keep his Ghosts safe. That's one of the most important parts. Tectonic Destabilizers comes in. It's just started coming in, I should say. Going to be double building damage for the Tempests, and you can see the Tempests and the Storms trying to bully right now. Cloaked Ghost goes forward. He's going to try and get rid of these guys. There is an Observer back there. He lands a few good EMPs on the Disruptors, the High Templar, and the Tempests. I don't think there's any High Templar Storms left in here, and oh no! herO, no reserve High Templar. The moment the EMPs clear his Storms, his army's hot garbage. I could say we predicted this a minute or 2 ago. No High Templar. If he had a High Templar or 2 coming in from the flank, they could storm this right here. He's still got good Warpins with 15 gateways. He's got 1 more High Templar coming from the back with the energy recharge. Is it going to be enough? The Zealots are charging on top. The +3 armor's about to come in now. It's a little bit late. If only it came in before that fight happened. He started building batteries on the front. But this is very much similar to the last time he tried this against Maru. At the start of the season, 6 months ago, Celestial Enclave, he did the exact same thing. And the same thing happened. It was against Clem, actually. Sorry, it wasn't against Maru. It was against Clem, where he kept all of his High Templar in a clump. 1 EMP landed, and then he lost the forward position. Once you lose the forward position, it's really hard to come back from that because so much minerals was invested in that. Your whole army goes down. You can't really afford to replace it. And it's all about keeping these High Templar spread out as much as possible. And the reason you get cannons on the front is because their detection. He only had 1 observer, and it was in the back of his army, which is why he didn't see the Cloaked Ghost come forward. So I've talked a lot about how when you do the Tempest Siege, cannons are 0 supply, static defense that cannot be that detect your opponent and cannot be shot down by Vikings for a few ghost shots from far away. So they create safety zones. All of his High Templar just got EMP'd again. herO making 0 changes to how he controls his army, to the surprise of no one. herO is a man who will always do the most dangerous, high-risk version of the micro because he is not a systematic player. He doesn't have organized control groups, for those who don't know. Box controls and F2s everything. And he will control group the most recent 2 things he looked at on control group 1 and 2. So this is probably 1 right now. This might be 2 down here. But when he bounces back, that could swap. He could completely flip those control groups at any moment based on what he looked at most recently. That sounds bizarre to you. It's bizarre to everyone that's not herO. Even herO says it's really weird. I don't know how I stumbled into doing things this way, and I don't recommend it to anyone. It's probably bad, he said to me in multiple interviews when I've asked about it. Tempest kiting backwards. The High Templar way too clumped. They're getting hit by EMPs. He lands a bunch of storms, but he's got no storms in reserve. That was every High Templar went forward and landed storms or EMP'd, but you need more storms because remember the storms are a gradual thing that will chip away at your opponent. He's got no splash damage except the Colossus. Luckily for him, there's only 9 Vikings in the army. With the Tempest and the Mothership there, those Colossus will be hard to take down. herO might be able to wear through this army. It's heavily damaged. Maru overcommits. He's got to pull back. Maru cannot keep fighting this. The problem is he doesn't want to give up ground because then the Tempests are just going to chase him. They're going to start chipping at him again and again. The units lost have 5,000 in favor of Maru. Maru does have a 5th base on the left side. He's got 3 upgrades now, so the upgrades are even. He doesn't have any ship weapons or anything like that. And that is going to be hurting him as he takes some gases here, realizing gas is in short supply. He's got 2 starports on reactors. Might want to get a 3rd one if he can afford it. EMP on the Tempest. Vikings get a pretty good fight. Of course, Time Warp comes down and scares him back. Tempest's a bit too far forward, though. If the Vikings can snag some hits on those, would be big. Remember, herO doesn't have Revelation. You really want an Oracle tagging the Terran army so you can see them from far away, and your Tempest can make sure they don't ever get exposed. How many Tempests has he lost? 9. For 14 Vikings. It's not too bad. You can also rotate to the right and siege this ledge. But I mean, I think most expert late game Protoss players are staring at this and just going, where the hell are your High Templar? You got to spread them out. You know, there should always be a High Templar here, here, and here, and then a few in your army as well. He's only got 1 in his army, and he's doing the classic late game Protoss thing where they just stop building High Templar. They kind of, a lot of people, they miscontrol their High Templar and they go, oh, see, High Templar aren't any good. It's not that the High Templar is bad, it's that putting 8 of them in one clump is bad. herO, High Templar very exposed. Good zoning storm to start, but he's not got many more where they came from. 2 High Templar are in reserve now. But he's only warped them in now, so they don't have a lot of energy. I love the Zealot counter. Beautiful Zealot counter on Maru's 3rd. He's going to evacuate a lot of SCVs, tear down some depots, some assimilators. The Archons do get EMP'd in the middle. Time Warp is massive. Massive Time Warp. That is huge. Beautiful play here. Look at the way he's just pursuing Maru. Even when herO has a weaker army, the Zealots are forcing him to split his army up. And herO's trying to bully him for it. But once again, no reserve High Templar. And that's disastrous. He's going to get the Planetary, which is massive. He should be spreading those High Templar out again to come in for reserve, because the way this works is you get in trouble if your front High Templar get EMP'd, Terran's going to stim and jump on you, and if you have High Templar filtering in from different angles, he just can't have EMP ahead of his army to clear those, and that's where storms are going to slow him down. Getting that middle base is massive though. Maru's got a giant army supply, and it's all about getting insurance to not get overwhelmed, because you know Maru's probably going to drop to 40 SCVs over the next few minutes. He's going to go for one big counter all in. Dude, another orbital gets sniped. That is massive. Maru with a misstep there, and he's eating big storms. This is where you need that insurance. Where are the backup Psy Storms to stop him chasing you down? We always knew this was the win condition. herO should have known this was the win condition as well, but he has no reserve High Templar, only a single storm. And he's going to get overrun. It's Maru's last-ditch effort. If there's any splash in here at all, he gets annihilated. Is it enough with the Zealot reinforce? The High Templars are not there, but the Zealots, the cannons, the batteries, the Tempests on the high ground, or shooting from above, I should say. Not the high ground, but from the skies. The probes trying to fight. This was always going to be Maru's only win condition after losing that middle base. But herO did not prepare for it. Is Mass Zealot Warpings going to be enough? Honestly, I think it will be, but it's very close. These Zealots, against that many medevacs, that many ghosts, they do struggle. Remember, these are 125 hit point ghosts that do crazy damage. Maru wedges them in a corner. The Tempest goes down. There's only Zealots and Sentries here. It was a predictable shove for Maru, but he is the best in the world at being dead in the water, grabbing that one big army, and getting up on top of you before you're ready for it. Another Colossus is out. One more High Templar coming forwards. It does not have energy right now, though. herO needs to defend this base. He's on 72 probes. He's got the entire bottom right corner up, but he wants to control this, because if he loses the center, how the heck is he going to defend these 2 bases? Income tab. Actually ahead in minerals right now for Maru. Tells us that he's dropping quite a few mules. There is still only one Robo in this game, but 14 gateways. Colossus coming out. Second Colossus will be really, really big. Ooh. Lots of Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts in this ball. The Colossus are worrying. EMP did already land. Guardian Shield does get taken out. Oh, my lord. That storm. I mean, it's so crazy how effective the few storms we see are. It's just kind of tragic that herO only ever seems to have the one at the start of the fight and then no more until the next fight. Colossus started stepping back. Marauders doing some good damage. I think the Colossus are doing enough here. If he can defend these Colossus, I think he's got this in the bag, does herO. Oh, one Colossus got tagged by the Marauder. Sacrifices itself for the greater good. Disruptor coming out as well. Just see, it's one High Templar in the army at a time. The one High Templar late game rule. You don't understand. The reason he can't build more High Templar is because when he does, they're just going to F2 into a clump anyway. So it might actually, with the way he controls his army, this might be the best way to do it. Is just only have 1 or 2 High Templar at a time. Because having 8, it feels like achieves exactly the same as having 2 if you're going to have herO's army control. Now he's coming in with a flank. There's no High Templar with the main army. Gets an okay storm, morphs an Archon, but not going to be quite what you'd be looking for. Only one Colossus here, and this Bio Ball is crazy. Yeah, you need so many High Templar to deal with this. He's not got any. He's out of storms. The Zealot Stalker cannot fight into that big ball of Bio. Maru pushing forward. Look at the army supply, gang. herO has a lot of money coming in. He's got so much money, but he's got to wear Maru down, and he's not going to do it with single Robo and only one High Templar at a time. Master Zealot's going to try to fight it, but one Colossus has already fallen. High Templar did not reach energy recharge, and even though energy recharge is available, he's just not thinking about it. herO trying to land the Disruptor shot, gets like 7 Marines with it, which is kind of nice. But the Marauders come forward, and Maru is going to overwhelm. How the hell did Maru stay alive in this game? Ooh, Maru's so good, man. Anyone else would have died. Anyone else would have died when that orbital in the middle got sniped. The first planetary snipe was bad. The orbital snipe was just piling up pain on top of him. But now the gateways are getting depowered. You get rid of the Templar Archives in the Robo Bay. No good units can be built anymore. And herO's going to be pretty screwed. You didn't rebuild the Templar Archives. When a Terran gets in your base, rebuilding either the Templar Archives or the Robo Bay is sometimes really a good idea. But he's got no gas in the bank. So he's already in trouble. It looks like that's going to be that, man. Maru just playing so well. Very well played to push when he had the opportunity. And it might look frustrating as a Protoss player, but you got to realize it's very hard to dodge the splash damage. Maru is one of the best, if not the best Terran in the world. And if those High Templar come in from scattered angles, if there's maybe a second Robo of Disruptor production as well, especially on the Remax situations, much harder for him to break through. I do think herO had a winning position, but I think he's just gated by how he controls his High Templar. I think an Estrella, a classic, one of these guys who's very methodical with spreading their High Templar all around would absolutely have been able to deny that, because you've got to look at that one moment, which is just, it's so important, that moment after the orbital snipes where Maru dives. All right, so at this point, this planetary snipe was huge. It wasn't just that, it was like a minute later, if even. He comes back in, the Zealots are still getting, only just got cleaned up, gets the orbital snipe, gets a 6 storm there, and this is so huge. But what's High Templar count? It's 6. He's got 4 in reserve. He actually only brought 2 with his army, which is kind of awesome. This is like the rare moment where herO showed some actual patience, but he's got to be spreading these High Templar out like so much more, you know? And a lot of them don't have storms yet either. Instead, he just F2s them into his army. And I'm like, no, we need more storms. And you can see they all got EMP'd there. He got 1 storm and then they all got EMP'd. Now, what a lot of Protoss players used to argue with me about, because I was arguing for players to use Storm a lot more several years ago, and a lot of people tell me Storm's bad, it just gets EMP'd, is it's very hard for a Terran. So a lot of Protoss players don't understand this. The Terran player has to manually see every Ghost, has to see every High Templar, and has to EMP them. That's very hard to do. When you're pushing from one direction, scanning ahead, you can usually track all the High Templar in front of you visually and EMP them all, which is what he did. When a High Templar comes out of the fog from over here, or off screen down here, because your screen's here, you're watching their army. If High Templar comes up here, you don't even see it, it's off screen. Storm lands in the middle of your army, that's where you take really big damage. The only way you can avoid that as a Terran is by pushing much slower, spreading your army out ahead of time. And that's not the danger. If a Terran's playing like that, hero's winning because his Tempests are just picking at you, chipping at you. The whole danger with this sort of army is that the Terran suddenly catches you a bit too forward on the map, a bit too exposed, and dives on top of you. And that's where you need these kind of High Templar scattered around. And they're some of the best value you can get for just 2 supply. So people say, oh, you can't afford to have 8 supply in extra High Templar. You absolutely can. Even if your probe count's lower or you have 4 less zealots, it's so worth it. And that's where those High Templar come in from different angles. And you can use those storms. Are they going to kill the Terran army? Not necessarily. If the Terran overcommits, they will kill their army. But they force the Terran to slow down. They give you time to pull your army back to kite, to get the Tempest to safety, and to basically like build towards rebuilding anything that you've lost while overextended with that army. So it's really important to slow down the Terran when they're chasing you and not give you the opportunity to chase. And this is doubly important if Maru had range libs, because Storm does damage to libs. So if you manage to drop a Storm on a siege lib or as a lib is sieging, it does crazy damage. And likewise, medevacs and libs, if they're all clumped up, you land a Storm on it, you're getting damage on the ground and the air unit, so you get double value. All right, guys. herO in the bottom left side of the map. Maru in the top right. It's Sanctuary 3. I don't know what happened on Sanctuary 1 and 2, guys, but this is the third try. Third time lucky, I guess. herO still up 2-1, and I actually think he was surprisingly in a pretty winning position in that last game. I was not too keen on the Tempest transition at first, but it's so fast to snipe command centers and buildings, and that's what kind of forces the Terran to go. It's very good for baiting them forward. So I think there was 2 big mistakes in that last game. Number 1, not having a cannon and only batteries when the first ghost came forward. If he at least saw all those ghosts coming, might have been able to split his Eye Templar, land some feedbacks, not get them all EMP'd. So the first time he lost the middle was, I would say, game losing for most players. But then he still got in a good position, but he just didn't have enough backup High Templar on the second one either. So I think either one, if he just had his High Templar spread out a bit more, a few of them not with the main army, just off to the sides, ready to pull in when the Terran dives, which he's inevitably got to do. Those are pretty game-winning spots, but I love that herO stays calm. Says, I'm still in the lead. Let's just go for this no scout opening. Core before Nexus with no scout. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's okay. 20 core, 20 Nexus. Checks your proxy down there. Maru, of course, going free. 1-Rex expand again. Says, hey, it worked out last game. Let's give it a go again. herO's defense seems to be on point, so let's play the economic game. Second gas coming up. Where is that second pylon on the natural? Okay, cool. This is interesting. Oh, big thank you for the super chat, Luke, over on YouTube, watching live. Thanks, mate. Big thanks, Techie, for the gifted sub before as well. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are enjoying this cast over on YouTube, not live. Please check out the Patreon. Links below in the description if you want to go the extra mile to support the channel. If not, don't worry. It's always going to be free content here. Click like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know who's more. Ooh, who's the best at playing in hot, sweaty circumstances? Is it herO, who's used to the sauna? Is it herO, whose games are basically a chaotic hellscape at all times anyway? Or is there some other player who wasn't in the top 4 other than Maru, herO, herO, and Classic here who you think would have done better? I think if you take 2011 Pig, streaming shirtless in my my tiny little room in this share house, where I swear it was hotter inside than it was outside in the summer. Oh, I feel like I would have had good heat resistance at that time, man. I think you take 2011 me, man. I'd be pretty good at playing in these circumstances. People are telling me in the chat that apparently players had small little handheld fans on their desks and stuff like that. They did look quite sweaty at the event. Proxy Oracle. Not a crazy fast Proxy Oracle, but pretty well timed. And against a player who's not got a Cyclone, that's usually decent. It's going to be Banshee. Oh, Maru. Oh my gosh. Dude, this Oracle's going to hit. What's he got? He's got 5 Marines. Graven can drop an auto turret as well. It's going to be tough. This is a scary moment. Hellion Reaper poking in. I like the split, actually. The Hellion and the Reaper kind of spreading out a bit. But good micro from herO to pull the weakened probes towards the shield battery, so that can't get any damage. That Hellion will go down. Oracle's going to fly in. There's no starport for you, mate. Oh, getting the SCVs, building the buildings. Extra annoying. And the Oracle does go over that mineral line. 4 Marines do come up, though. And you know what? That could have been a lot worse. But is the natural also exposed as a result of that? It is. Maru, though, quick to react, unfortunately, and USCV pops out at the worst possible time. The SCVs want to go back to mining. The Oracle has to run around. New Oracle running in. Is it going to find more damage? The Raven may have to drop an auto turret to defend this. See the Raven tracking it. He doesn't want to throw it down too early. Only wants to use that if he absolutely must, as obviously the Oracle will only take 1 or 2 shots and then fly away. Cyclone's here, though. And he's going to try and get out. Nice recall. Will save the Oracle. Just barely gets out of there with 24 hit points remaining. 2 Adepts straight into the natural. This is a total of 8 worker kills, and even more are going down. The Stalkers being so annoying. Maru takes 8 worker losses. Is this too much damage? Well, 3rd barracks is up. He's not wasted any time building tanks. He's got a Cyclone out. Charge is now coming in. Ooh, okay. I Oracle into charge. I love it. So 3rd Nexus into 4-gate charge. I do like this. I really like this, especially if he's put stasis traps everywhere. He gets himself 1 more SCV on this side. But Stim and Shields have started. It's going to be double reactor for the factory and starport. Marine and Marauder pumping out of there. And I always feel like herO Zealot transitions are so janky and weird. Like, he often rushes the 4th gas. And like, he'll rush charge, but then he'll only have like 6 Zealots when the Terran army comes, because he's like adding splash damage, but isn't really committed to the Zealots. So we'll see if he fixes that in this game. I think with 6 gates this early, he should be in a good spot to shut down the 2-base push. The problem he's going to have is a complete lack of anti-air. So he's got Oracles, a couple sentries, and non-blink Stalkers. His only anti-air. And that's, of course, very tough, because the Terran can just pick up and fly away anytime he gets in trouble. So if you overcommit to Mass Zealot here, and you're relying on a big surround, Terran just picks up his army, flies home, gets behind his wall off. Suddenly you are forced to go to that next step, and that's why, of course, Blink will come in after charge. Templar Archives does go down as well. So 3 gas, giving him a bit of extra gas to start heading into the splash damage is going to help him out. I do like the lock on there. Nice play. Cyclone limits him down to just 1. Stalkers come forward. They get 2 volleys on the Raven. They try and damage that Cyclone. Cyclone lock on. Oh my lord. Almost gets the Stalker. It's a lot of Zealots. You do not want to fight here. You do not want to fight in the slow zone. You want to let him come forwards. Come forwards and go for a beautiful engage timing. I love that move for herO. Waits for him to come out of the slow zone, then jumps on him in the open. But actually, Terran army fights pretty damn well there. There is still 7-gate Zealot. Units lost time pretty even. You can see the Oracle, the Stalk, the Zealot's going down. The Bio army holding its own. It's a massive Bio mine coming forwards. No 3rd command center for Terran. Maru needs damage. Whoa, he's got to be careful though. The Oracle does go down. The Widow Mines, those Zealots, way too clumped up. They took a lot of damage from those Widow Mines. And this feels really scary right now. Archon's going to try to morph in, but the other High Templar can't really do anything in this scenario. Did he just land 2 feedbacks with 1 High Templar? He must have energy recharge to do that. Hey. Okay. Nice move. Someone in chat says this is GG. But for who? For who? I don't even know who you think this is GG for. Maru's transition is very slow. He's got a good forward position, but I feel like this is still a nail-bitingly close game, chat. You got some fanboys in the chat. I don't even know who you're talking about. I feel like this game could absolutely go either way. Storm started, Robo Forge. herO's held on without any real damage, but double drop goes into the main base. Maru's army stays in the middle, though. It gets caught out. Blink is now here. He's going to try to recall to his own main. Oh, the Templar Archives! Not like this! The most important tech structure goes down, but Maru pays a terrible price for it. He loses a full medevac. The second one does get out of there, but it has to drop 1 Marauder to try and distract those Stalkers. Dude, Storm gets denied. That is a really big move. And now you're stuck on Gateway Man without any Forge upgrades. But Maru's got to clean up his rally. What is he doing out here? Getting caught being sloppy. Sloppy Joe's Terran. The Gathering army needs to get together and heal up. He's trying to get it together now. The Stalker's coming forward. herO on the warpath right now. Maru may have left his army too far out in the open. He needed to pull back and let it heal up. Archon, Zealot, Stalkers, and Sentries here. He can force field the ramp and go off to the left side. herO maybe a little early with those force fields. He's got a 4th base coming up. He's got a Robo Bay. He's going to pivot from Storm to Colossus instead. This is crazy, man. This game could go either way. This army's very scary, though. The Terran army, that is. Like, the Protoss army, you don't want to lose these valuable sentries and Archons. Oh, you might want to just turn and force field here on the corner, but actually, that's a weird force field. It's like a defensive force field. When you're playing Zealot Archon, you want to play aggressive, not defensive force fields. He does dodge the Widow Mine with the Archon, which is brilliant. The Stalkers and the Prism drop will disengage. 10 more workers do go down. It's a solid economy lead here for herO. He's not got any splash damage out, though. He's got a Templar Archives rebuilding. Robobay has built. He's not built anything other than the Archon here. And he is just overcommitting right now to a fight on the Terran side of the map. herO is the one guy who just loves headbutting into engagements that feel dangerous. And he often finds a way to make the best out of it, because if you mess up and overextend his Maru, you lose Medivacs. You're already losing a lot of healing. There is a Void Ray and a Colossus building right now, guys. If you ever needed any inkling that herO is an absolute troll trapped inside the friggin' body of one of the greatest Protoss players to ever grace this game with his presence, that is the reason. 10 minutes, a Void Ray builds out of his proxy. And he's going to fly a Void Ray into the main and start picking off add-ons with it. Oh my, you cannot be sillier than this guy. He goes for the third base, clicks on the SCV, Widowmine takes out the Stalker. Maru's like, what the heck is this, mate? Are you trolling me? Big Zealot warping in the main is going to take out a bunch of these SCVs. Remember, these are unupgraded Zealots just charged. No attack or armor upgrades, but he's getting huge damage on that mostly undefended mineral line. You need a Viking to take this Prism out of here. Maru is down 23 workers, and that's a real problem for him. His army's been, you know, it's finding ways to do things, but honestly, I just don't know if he has an answer to Chaticus Maximus up here, the single Void Ray that's come out 10 minutes into the game. It's just yet another thing for Maru to deal with, and he's losing Ghosts to Zealots at his production. More Zealots warping into the natural. The 2-hit point Warp Prism, just a menace. This army committing in with a handful of very vulnerable, very expensive units. herO doing so much with so little. He's picking off an add-on now. The Vikings are going to deal with Chaticus. Chaticus Maximus is going to go down to the Vikings. Zealots are still alive in the main base, though. Maru losing 22 workers. herO, the mad lad, building the random Void Ray while getting a 4th up and double Forge upgrades. He's building another Void Ray. Guys, he is chrono boosting another Void Ray right now. He is looking for emotional damage. He's literally looking for the psychic damage of doing the stylish move. He's not even that far ahead in terms of army, but he knows he's so far ahead in economy that he can play with his food right now, and he doesn't want to just get Maru out of this game. He wants Maru to be tilted in game 4 and 5 as well. He does not want Maru to be coming to the next game in a good spot. He's going, when you see this next Void Ray, you are going to be broken mentally, because you know that I am not taking this as seriously as most players do. My name is herO, and I am clicking with my ding-dong. I'm just having fun, doing whatever I feel like. That Void Ray is going to go harass as Maru's counterattack comes in. Unfortunately, herO keeps F2ing it back home, because herO, once again, for the 3rd time, he F2s the Void Ray back and then manually selects it and sends it back to the front. I've talked a lot about herO getting trapped in cycles of redundant actions, doing very pointless tasks before. This is an example of that. Has he gotten too far ahead? Has he put the cart before the horse? An Oracle would have been a much better harassment unit here. Widowmine does a ton of friendly fire. Oh my lord, look how damaged that Terran army is. I will rewind that at the end of this game. That is a crazy friendly fire Widowmine. I only caught the end of it, but I saw the Terran army's hit points plummet. What in the world? herO tilting his opponent out of the game with a Void Ray. Absolute psycho. So look at this, guys. I'm pretty sure one of these Widow Mines does crazy friendly fire. Ooh, okay, it was mostly on the Medivacs. Let me just show that one more time. It was mostly on the Medivacs. It wasn't actually on the bio as much as I thought. You can see it got 2 Marines and Marauder, and all the Medivacs took like maximum damage there. But it was actually the Archon Colossus splash combined with the Stim and the Zealots that damaged the rest of them. Really nice game here by herO. And at the end of the game, he has a Void Ray in Maru's 3rd base. And that's psychic damage times 10, man. You know Maru's going to be tilted at the end of that. Looks back, sees the Void Ray killing his workers, and he knows he's done. Alright, guys, going to game 5 onside Maru in the bottom right side of the map. herO sent one of his first probes across the map. He's in the top left. It is at Eternity's Edge. This is a map much like, what was it, Golden Empire or something like that? I don't know. There's been a lot of maps like this one where it's not quite, you know, symmetrical, but it's rotationally symmetrical, I guess people call it. It's basically it's a cross section, you know, both sides of the butterfly, so to speak. Geez, that is the most convoluted way to put it. I'm like, this is a map that is the both sides of the thing. Sorry guys, the scoreboard. Oh no. We're gonna do this in real time. Look at that. Look at that. You guys, we didn't miss anything. Okay, the probe was just rotating around. It's fine. This is a perfectly professionally, smoothly done broadcast, guys. What can I say? Obviously, editing the names in live. Due to herO on Classic. Playing this tournament on barcodes. Kind of a shame they didn't just create a new account or borrow account, but it is what it is. Sometimes you want your settings to be saved. You don't have to reset all your settings on a new account, so it can be easier to do that. So has herO done any damage, guys? Well, there's a yellow hit point SCV, there's an orange hit point SCV. That's honestly not too much damage. The command center gets down pretty much immediately. Feels like Maru did a really good job of limiting the probe damage. The Nexus is there. The core came down before the Nexus. So once again, core before Nexus. No greedy Nexus before core stuff. I prefer the greedy stuff. I'm a defensive Protoss versus Terran player. But I think especially, you know, with Maru being so defensive himself, it's not a bad idea. If you are going to go for core before, though, you might as well chrono the gateway twice, send in either 2 adepts or an adept and a stalker across the map. I think seeing the bunker already coming up, he's probably just going to chrono probes. Oh, he does chrono the second adept despite seeing the bunker. Hello, was not expecting that. This could partially just be, of course, to have this adept out in time to defend these probes, allows the first adept to move across the map even if the Reaper comes in for it. Reaper is hunting for the probe right now, but the probe is still hanging out very close to the Terran base, so the Reaper doesn't quite see him there. Adept's coming forwards. I love that he brings the probe in for the battle. If the probe lands one hit, then it could kill the Marine. 2 adept hits and 1 Marine. Two adept hits and 1 probe hit kills a Marine or an SCV, guys. Of course, herO finding a way to find value out of a single worker. I really do feel like herO loves his Captain D head openings, doesn't he? He's such a big fan of it. Just being way more annoying with a worker than most people will be. Reaper has to hide in the bunker. The SCVs have to abandon the minerals temporarily. They are afraid of that shade-in. Helion's going to come out. Starport's on the way as well. So Maru here, he's got a solid opening. Starport, of course, building next to the Nova Simp Shrine. As you can see here, all the Simps just hanging out, having a good time. Not weird behavior at all. Ooh, 3 adepts. That's kind of scary. I'm going to commit to it. Let's focus a Marine down. Oh, he doesn't quite get the 3rd shot on that SCV that he targeted at first. So he only gets 1 SCV here. Could have got 2. I'm going to grab 1 more now. Can he get 1 more? The other red point SCV still there. The Hellion and the Reaper barely surviving as well. And at the end of the day, I think that's a good hold for Maru, who's feeling pretty confident. Oh, he's going to grab 1 more if you're not careful, but no, herO not watching. And actually, herO takes a quick 3rd. First time in this series. Wow, 2 Gate Blink Robo into a quick 3rd just after 4 minutes. Very cool to do that after 3 adepts. Now, he's going to be facing a double mine drop into... Looks like 3 barracks, factory, and starport, both on tech labs. I wonder if Maru cuts a corner and swaps over quickly, doesn't build Raven tank, he's actually in an amazing spot. If he builds Raven 2 tanks like normal, it's not going to be that good, but he hasn't seen the 3rd yet. That's the problem. Okay, now he sees it. Now he sees it. That's going to be the first sign to potentially adapt and be greedier, but... Oh, the 3 Stalkers, they're going to take out the medevac. 1 shot left. That's a good cleanup here for herO. Look at that. He'll get this because he's got the Observer. He can kill it even after it burrows. Alien and the Reaper on this side. Reaper goes down as well. Suddenly herO is completely in control of this game, and you're going to see herO could even pressure now because he cleaned up the medevac. He could go across with the Stalkers, the Observer, blink in, pick off some units. Maru going to be a bit slow on getting these barracks landed. The one thing Maru's really been missing this whole series long, because he's so afraid of herO's 4-gate blink, is just getting a surprisingly early stim timing going. It's always been tank and Raven, at least 1 of each, like he has here, before he does that. And it doesn't feel like the crispest swap over timing, you know? Like he was a little slow on getting that follow-up going. Charge is on the way, so it's 3-gate charge after this. Probably goes to 6 gates next. Yeah, herO just smoothly working his way forwards. Maru does scan, gets rid of the Observer. Stim and Shields is up. He's got the tank in the bunker defending the natural. The next Observer flies in scan range. Almost dies. Auto turret harassment's going to be nice here. Ooh, herO not respecting it. Just doesn't pull it all. I sometimes think not pulling it all is better than only doing a half-assed pull. But, I mean, Maru's probably going to drop another auto turret soon. It's a massive amount of mining time that's being wasted. Yeah. This is a huge amount of mining time. And probes. herO not handling this very well. It's going to lose 7, I think. Yeah, 7 probes. And a ton of mining time. Great counter pressure. There's no way. There's no way. Is he going to get the bunker? Looks like he's already killed the tank here, guys. Sorry, I missed that. It's a bunch of SCVs. Stim's almost ready, so Maru should be able to push him away, but Maru's got to get rid of this Observer. It sees everything. herO's still dancing around. Stim, Shields, +1, almost finished. The Raven's coming home. He's got to move out here to clear this out, but look at that 4 Stalker drop, not giving him any respect. No respect for Maru from herO in this game. That's how he loves to play. Just get in your face. Ooh, is he going to get the Prism? Yes, he is. And one of the Stalkers, so herO gets punished, but look at that. Grabs another SCV or 2 and a Widow Mine out front. Feels like herO's kind of playing with Maru a little bit, you know? It's not even super efficient. It's just in your face. And because Maru's busy reacting, rather than going first, constantly reacting, constantly defending, and herO's just getting free pickoffs, disrupting him where he probably shouldn't be able to. Behind it, it is just Zealots. 1 sentry, a few Stalkers, a pack of Zealots. These Stalkers have not recalled home. This could still be a game-winning timing. I also wonder where the SCV pulls are, because I think SCV pull could have maybe been game-winning if he was able to move across the map here. The Stalkers are actually coming in from behind, and herO's just going to dive on it. The Mad Lad commits so hard. Is this a good move for herO? Well, the Guardian Shield's helping him out. The Widow Mine does help clear those Zealots. Another great Widow Mine on the Stalkers as well. The Observer does actually get killed there. It was, of course, in the mode where it revealed itself, but there was a Raven there anyway. The Bio coming forwards. Army supply only up by a couple for Maru right now. And remember, he's going to reinforce across this map. He gets a beautiful anti-armor missile. Maru with some brilliant micro. But the numbers are in on herO's side. They are in his favor. And herO, he does just headbutt through the anti-armor missile. Now he starts to disengage. 9 Zealots warping at a time. First Colossus is almost here. Xenothermal Lance is coming. It's almost a 20 worker advantage. The boys have been pulled, but Maru's already lost most of his firepower. And the Widow Mine does so much damage to his own SCVs. A desperate last-ditch effort for Maru, but herO, it feels like it's just had the better of him start to finish in this series, and it's all due to things like the Stalker pressure. The Stalker pressure has been absolutely ridiculously powerful, and it just felt like Maru couldn't get through that first 5-6 minutes without herO taking complete control. Honestly, I'm at a loss to even analyze this on a deeper level. I feel like I would need to speak to Maru himself and Clem about what details were missing. Was he just a little off on his openings? Were there small macro mistakes that meant his timings were slightly off? Should he have gone for completely different builds to punish the way herO played this series? I do think maybe an SCV pull earlier in the series to really garner the respect of herO could have been good. We also didn't see a ton of, even though there was no very fast third builds, like there was very little like super fast third for herO, perhaps some sort of dedicated 2-base tank all in, because we didn't see a lot of that in this series either. Perhaps Maru was playing a bit too much. Let's play a solid harassment into macro opening and play it out and kind of react and see how it feels. Against herO, you might need to get his respect earlier in the series. herO takes control, wins 4-1, a brilliant win for herO, and he's going to the grand finals to play with herO. GG, well played.